Hello, eRank, and welcome to another live Thursday Q&A. Yep, it's Thursday again. I don't know how that happened. And we won all the questions from you guys because I don't think either Starlet or myself want to be sitting under studio lights in this weather. So, yeah.
What's worse is I just noticed that I'm wearing the same shirt I wore last week. I swear, I've changed my shirt, but it doesn't add to
other clothes. I always think that when I'm getting ready for the live stream, I'm like, what did I wear last week? Don't want to look the same.
Look almost
it's
identical.
Okay. No one would have noticed until you told them. Well, I was reading it and I was going, I recognise that shirt, but I didn't think I'd recognise it from last week. So
yeah, it's Edward and Bella, but they're in a mosh pit.
That is cool.
Anyway,
I thought it was some kind of weird band T-shirt, but
yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like.
It definitely works. Yeah. Yeah. So today we're going to mention a cool new eRank tool. Well, yeah, it is a new tool, and we might even have a little chat about an update that Etsy's done, and you guys can all help me making my shop look better than it looks, because Stella worked really well last week in her live on tidying up shops, but my shop's a mess, so you can all help me with that.
Man, that live stream, anytime I do a live stream where I'm doing like live SEO, I feel like no one is watching this. This is the most boring thing ever. Why does anyone want to watch this? And then I looked up and there were like 200 people watching. I'm like, don't you guys have anything better to do on your Friday than watch me do SEO?
Oh, God, there's that whole genre of people watching people doing homework or something. So people watch everything. Mm-hmm.
Right,
I think the mukbang started as something relaxing and then became something very different.
I don't want to hear sloppy eating sounds. I don't want to listen to someone
Nope.
eat. I don't want to hear that like if I'm sitting across the table from you. I was in one of those households where my stepdad, he was one of those people that he could not hear any chewing, any slurping, and any of those sounds just immediately offended him. And then he ended up traveling to several European countries for work. And I can't remember specifically where, but I know that there was somewhere that he went where it was like a compliment to the chef to eat loudly.
All right. And I've heard of that in some Asian countries, especially like you're supposed to slurp noodles and things, but I can't think of European places.
All I know is that he came back completely grossed out. Oh, and burping. He said that they would burp loudly.
Yeah, compliments to the chef. Yep.
Yeah, they would burp and slurp, and he was just appalled by the time he got home.
Yeah, so, Anna, it's not Ireland.
But because of that, I feel weird when it doesn't personally bother me if someone's eating, you know, but I just feel like you're not supposed to do that because I got yelled at as a kid.
Yeah. That was actually one of my short bans from Facebook was due to noisy eating. I'd posted, not me personally, but I'd posted up this little video of, it was like a little raccoon or something, a baby raccoon crunching something and, you know, really noisily. And I was like, isn't it adorable when it's a baby animal? However, if it was your husband, you'd want to unalive him. And Facebook thought I was inciting people to violence and blocked me for a while.
Oh man, yeah. I've had to resubmit some Facebook posts like where it's like it was context, like pay attention to the context. Oh, I remember what it was. It was I was like dieting or something, and it was a post from when I was way younger, but it just came up a couple months ago, and they were saying that I was like promoting anorexia or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
Their AI isn't the best, but anyway.
Yeah, it's when it's pulling up stuff from years ago, and you're like, what even was I talking about then?
Oh, but guys, we're 5 minutes in. It looks like we've got couple people watching. So we've got a couple cool things to show you both on the eRank side and on the Etsy side. And then maybe afterwards we will get into questions, because I don't think it's going to take us too terribly long to show you these two things.
Nope, it shouldn't. Right. Shall we start with what Etsy's done this week? Just because I've got this open in my screen. So
Sure.
I'm gonna warn you guys. I'm gonna assault your eyes with color just now. This is not like me. Right. So for those of you that haven't noticed, I think everyone can view this, but it's only if you've got an Etsy Plus subscription you can actually change these things. But if you go in from your shop manager to edit your shop, you now have the option to change your color theme, which I think only changes your this little header area.
And your about section.
Oh, is it the I hadn't
Oh, that's
scrolled
why I
in.
said the pink looked good until I went to your about section, and then
Where's
it
my
was
about section?
it's a
Oh,
lot of pink.
oh, that's bad, isn't it? That's really bad. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have the ability for this color theme. If you hit edit, they give you, it says, choose from hues inspired by your banner and shop icon to add a splash of color. So I think the splash of color being bright pink is a bit too much for my shop. So, guys, let me know what color I should be picking out of this, because I've tried, like, I hate green, but the green sort of looks okay. But now you've got me paranoid about the about section. So yeah, or I think just being boring is. But these are the options that I get based on my banner and my shop logo. Sadly, not my own face, because then I would have had much cooler colors. Um,
And my color choices were completely different, because I've got a lot of blues and purples and orange in my banner. So I had like nice fall colors that fit my new Halloween
yeah,
banner.
I I hope that we could force it a little bit by changing our banners. But yeah, Jessica saying, I wish we could choose a hex code. That's literally what we said
Yeah,
before we came on.
it's so weird.
Um,
Anna
yeah.
said it's like MySpace.
Oh no, are we going to start having like flashy hearts and yeah,
Glitter effects,
of course, yeah.
awful camera angles. You know, I met Mr. Moore on MySpace. That's what best
Did
thing
you?
I found. Yeah, best thing I ever bought on the internet.
Oh wow. I am not seeing a color that I actually like here for all of this.
See, this'll inspire you to
Oh,
update your
that's
banner just so you can get
it's
better
working
colors.
for me. Yeah, oh, what's Linda said third from the left. This I think greys are sort of the best option out of what we've got there. I was sitting with Brian yesterday, was looking through them all, complaining, and then he finally found he's got black, and so he's happy. Yeah, I think the grey's the best option just now until I change my banner. So it's a lovely idea from Etsy, but yeah, let us know what you think. Oh, we do have the option to remove it. It was just plain white, wasn't it? Yeah. See, now I don't like it how it was either. That's typical. Okay, so that's what I'm going with anyway for just
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I think it's a fun thing that Etsy's given us. It's definitely not worth paying for Etsy Plus or whatever it is just to be able to change that color.
I mean,
That's
I'm thinking about it. I'm considering, yeah, I think it looks really nice. It's one small step in the right direction. I have been saying for years that I wish that Etsy gave us more branding capabilities that allowed us to make our shops feel more our own and less Etsy branded, because we're not Etsy. We are building businesses on Etsy, but we are not Etsy.
yeah,
We're our own independent brands, and by having just a little more branding capability. And I said the same thing when Etsy Plus rolled out, where no, it's not something that is meant to help you make more sales. I've seen a lot of people post like, "Oh, I just got Etsy Plus. Will it help?" And I'm like, "Help with what?"
Yep. Yeah.
But it is a way to help you build the emotions that you want to create within your target customers. Um, I know a couple of you are probably in Handmade Alpha Academy, and one of our whole lessons in the branding module is just about color psychology and the feelings that certain colors create. And anyone, right now can go to Google and Google a color wheel with corresponding emotions, and that can help you to select a color and make sure that you're looking at pros and cons. Like if you want to do pink for your branding, look up the emotional pros and cons of pink branding and the feelings that pink branding create. And then, if you feel like, oh, I like the color pink, but it creates feelings that, I don't necessarily think represent my brand, then maybe okay, just because I like it, it might not be the best color for my brand, and you pick a different color.
Yeah, exactly. I, I do like it. It's just it's leaving me sitting going, I don't know what color I want here. I think it's as soon as you're given choices, like immediately we're all sitting there. I wish I could pick my own color, or at least hues. Like hues from the colors we've been given would be nice. And then as soon as you change them, it's like I'm happy to change that top bit. I don't want my about section the same color as that. So it's all a thing. The more we get, the more we're looking for. But overall, I think it's pretty cool.
Um, I'll get to the question about the badge in just a minute, but Irina said, I noticed on mobile, Etsy added a video to my listing that did not have a video, but the video was not related to my listing. Oh no!
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that. Was it a video of yours or was it a random video? I
Right. Was it
haven't
someone
seen
else's
that.
item?
Yeah, that would be the worst, wouldn't it?
Strange. And then the other, let's see, where it's saying you are in the top 3% of Etsy sellers, where are those numbers coming from? I'm definitely not sailing around in my billionaire yacht. I know it sounds shocking, but this is based on number of sales. So obviously someone who is selling like a cheaper item, they're not going to see the profit margins that maybe somebody who only has a couple sales, but their items are $1,000. This is just based on volume of sales. But it is true. I know that it doesn't seem like it, but we actually did a live stream, me and Anthony and Brian, would it have been 3 weeks ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago, yep. If you check in this channel and have a look at the old videos, you'll see. But yeah, they covered Anthony covered where we get the numbers from, and
Yeah.
they're pretty accurate. They come the number of shops and the number of sales come from Etsy, and then we do our calculations on them. So, and do you know it's a funny thing? We used to talk about like the top 2% in a country or in a business or whatever else. If you're the top 2% of income, you're still not rolling around in a billionaire yacht. It's like the top 0.2% or something. And it's kind of similar on Etsy. Sadly, the top 3%, that means you're doing better than most people on Etsy. Sadly, most people on Etsy are not doing life changing money. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, and it's not always number of sales either. Like I said, if you're selling digital files, you might have 30,000 sales and barely be making it. Then there are the sellers who are making beautiful engagement rings and they've only made 3 sales, but their rings are $10,000 each and they're doing just fine. So there are a lot of other factors that really determine
Exactly.
success.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. We've heard lots of feedback. People, it just gives you that little boost to say I'm not doing as bad as I thought I was doing, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. You decide what is success. I mean, for me, like I've felt a failure at everything I'm doing, and then I was speaking to someone, and it suddenly dawned on me when he was talking about success and everything. I was like, well, my bills are paid. I've been on 2 holidays this year. what more success is there?
Right.
So yeah, we all decide what's our own success if you're doing well enough. And for some people, remember the start of Etsy. For some people, being able to just sell some of the things they make, so they make room to be able to sell more of the things they make, that's success for them, and that's absolutely good enough. So yeah, choose what your success is, but enjoy the badge, enjoy those numbers, just as a pat on the back to say you're doing better than most people on Etsy.
All right. So do you guys want to see the new eRank tool? Wait, let's see if anybody knows if they've played with it. Does
Yeah,
anybody other
yeah.
than
Who's seen the tool? Who's had to play around with it? Because it just launched this week, I think. It just went live.
Irina, because she already said that she used it.
Yeah,
Bring it on, baby.
yeah. It's a beta. It's a tool in beta, very much. So, yes, it's just a fun wee tool. But let us know if you've spotted it, if you've tried it. Yeah, we don't have to be hiding, pretending that nobody knows what it is. This is the Create Videos tool. Thoth, I'll show you where it is in a second. Yep, but as it is a beta, we will warn you already. The team are already working on improving it. We have tons of ideas, as always, but we wanted to be able to launch a something to see if you guys liked it to start with before people spent a lot of time on it. Yeah, I think a few people are liking it. Some people haven't heard of it. Some people don't know what we're talking about, which is great. All right, shall we dig into this? And guys, you can start getting your questions already about anything to do with eRank, because as Starla says, we'll probably be able to rattle through this quite quickly because it's a fun tool, but it's not a huge, big change. So, Thoth, I will show you where you can find this first of all. So, this is the Create Video tool, and it is under listing optimization, because the idea of this tool is supposed to be that you're doing a listing audit and we tell you, hey, this listing doesn't have a video. Now we're going to have the option, so you're going to be able to create a video. So as I said, it's under eRank, listing optimizations, create video beta. Now, if you already have video editing software and you really know what you're doing making videos, this is not for you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is quick and dirty. You want to make a video for a listing. You forgot it's a really old listing. You just want to be able to make something. This is not going to replace if you know about video editing and stuff, but it's still kind of cool. Right, I have to confess, I don't have actual my shop pictures on on this computer, and you don't actually have to use it for Etsy. You can use it on social or anything else, but all we've got to do, click upload images. I don't know if that pop-up will show, but I'll just, you're going to get my holiday pictures, guys, because then we're not trying to sell my shop or anything, sell my item.
We'll visualize it. We'll visualize.
Yeah, so you imagine you've just uploaded all your images from a listing, and we've already got a preview has been created based on our basic settings, so you can preview it and say, is that what I'm looking for? And it's just going to scroll through your pictures. Dog is a perfect video. Absolutely, yeah. It's not so great for my Etsy shop, but it's good for a demo. So you can look at that. That's your preview. And then we have some options. So do you want it horizontal, vertical, or square? So maybe it's not always going to be perfect. That's not bad, really. Or you can go horizontal. Oh, yeah, it's way up there. And obviously it depends on the aspect ratio of your photos and where you're going to share it, but I'll go with square. And then you can pick the length of your video from 5 seconds to 15 seconds, because 15 seconds is the Etsy limit. So you can change that. We can do the length of the transitions between each shot and pick a background color. Ooh, let's do that. That's obnoxious. And then just see what you get there. So the background color is just the color that's going to come up, and see I've speeded it up a bit if you prefer that. And all we have for the advanced settings is your frame rate, if you want 60, 30, or 24, depending on where you're sharing it. But again, probably if you're using this, you don't even need to worry about it. And then all you have to do is, I haven't even tried to do this yet, is export the video once you're happy with it, and that should save it for you. Now, as I say, this is the very first beta version of this. We've already had some feedback. We've upgraded or upgrading the resolution because it was a little bit small, and just changing around everything. But that is the tool for now. So, guys, if you have any questions, suggestions, I see people are saying, like text, hit the E on eRank, because we'll forget by the end of the stream. Hit the E button on eRank to let our customer support people know. If you want the ability to add text, I think that is... Oh, that's my video saved. There we go. That wasn't too bad, actually.
It was really blurry yesterday. So, but
Oh,
I
was
didn't
it?
see I didn't see the advanced settings yesterday. So, and does it automatically size for Etsy specs? I think that size option had to have been added in the night because I was playing around with it and didn't have the option. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that the resolution is probably increased.
I'm not entirely sure. I know there was a ticket out for it today. Oh yeah, I can't actually share it, but I'm looking at mine and it looks pretty crispy now. Yeah. So maybe it has been. Guys, if you give it a try and let us know. The team are pretty quick on these things, and to be perfectly honest, they know they know some of these things. It's like in the second draft, they just wanted to get
Right.
something out to know what's necessary. But yeah, let us know the things you want to add there. Because yeah, I think potentially, could we add text? Could we have the transitions moving in different directions or things? But currently, as I say, I see it for, if you really... There's a lot of people who are hesitant to making videos because I think they don't know how to make videos. So something like that. And you could also... You don't just have to have your listing photos. If you have some nice images with the text on saying things, about your process and things that you wouldn't put into a listing photo, but you might want it in a video. Yeah. You could also use it to do little quick social media things as well if you wanted to.
Yeah, your about section video, somebody said, if you don't have an about section video, some pictures of your workspace, for example. Cutting Room Design said, any feelings on aspect ratio preferences? I thought Etsy only wanted landscape videos. For listings, I don't think that they've ever said. I just have always attempted to match the listing video size to whatever my product images are. But honestly, most of the time I don't even do that. If I need to hurry up and record a listing video, because my listing images are square, but I'll just grab my phone and
Yeah.
record, a quick video real quick and upload it directly with the Etsy app. And I usually don't cut it into a square. So
Yeah. I don't think they mind desperately about it. They just wanted people to make videos, basically, which makes sense. See, I don't know all the limitations of this tool either to be able to say, but I'm thinking it would be nice as well to maybe add a short video in with some of the images as well. I don't know how difficult that'd be. Let let the team be annoyed. But yeah, Hey, I'm not seeing any complaints. It sounds all good so far. So
Yeah.
that sounds good to me.
Cat nailed it. It's a good starter tool for those who don't know where to start and lack confidence. Once you're confident, you can move on to Canva, right? Or Canva. I like CapCut. There's so many really, great apps out there that have more advanced settings where you're dragging onto a timeline and you're picking your durations and effects and things. But like you said, if you're brand new to this and you've got listings that need videos and you just have no idea where to start, this is a really great starting point because we have like the listing audit. I feel like every time we need an idea for a tool, look at the listing audit, because what we're doing is we're telling you this needs to be fixed. Why not have a tool that fixes it? And some things we can't fix for you. For example, if you're missing product images, we can't take new product photos for you. But if you're missing listing videos, hey, that's something that we might be able to make a little bit easier for those who don't know how to do it.
Exactly. I mean, we don't want to rebuild Canva, but even or CapCut or any of the other tools. And I don't think we want to make it so confusing that you need to be able to use any of these tools. Like, well, all of these are great, but just something that you can throw in and just simply do things for people who don't want to learn how to video edit, which I totally understand. So yeah,
Absolutely. I think that another really useful thing, I'm going to bring it up with the team, but having the ability, since eRank already has access to listing photos, being able to pull photos directly from a listing. Though ideally, you would want to have different photos in your listing video than the photos that are already within your listing, because the person can already see those photos while they're
yeah,
scrolling through your listing. So ideally, you would want to maybe get like the photos that you've taken for social media, for example.
yeah. The only I think having a slideshow of the images that you have can help. It's better than nothing, but also it can
Right.
help for when your listing's seen in search.
Mm-hmm.
What you've got is the video can play on when you hover, when you mouse over. And I do like if the video starts with the first image in your listing, it can look kind of cool because that video, it sort of zooms into your picture and then the video starts, kind of thing. So,
Is
um,
the video tool available for the basic plan? Yes, it should
I
be,
think
right?
that's for everybody.
In the
What I
listing
will
optimization.
do, yeah, I'll see if I can find my free account, and we'll see if we can do it on a free account. I think we should be able to.
Oh, it's available for free as well.
I think so. I could be wrong. We'll find out. I'll go and look. I have some other secret accounts hidden about, so I'll see. I'll have a look at them and see if you can, what we can do it on.
I I also have many eRank accounts for, because sometimes we
Yeah,
need to record a video and we want to show you how to use a free account, and then if we don't have a free account, then how do we show you that? So
exactly. Yeah. Um,
I have accounts for all the things.
yep. This is that button. This is my free account. And we have a quota of you can make up to 5 videos a day, which I think that is pretty
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely seems to work. It's yeah, got all the same functionality. So yeah, even free users, you get out there and have a play about with that. Good news. I like that. I not just me. Anthony would love to give away every single one of our tools to everybody, but we can't do that. But it's always nice. Yeah, I think five. Thoth, not bad. 5 videos a day. I think that's pretty good if you're just starting out. I think to an extent, because I think in the expert plan it was 500 videos a day. I would be burnt out trying to update 500 listings in a day. I think doing 5 a day is a really good way to
Yeah.
control your workflow.
Let's see. Does it retain? the photo resolutions, or does it drop resolution in the final video? I'm going to assume it probably drops it just a little bit. But Pam, you said it's pretty crisp compared to yesterday, right?
It
Because mine was.
definitely looks much better compared to. I didn't see it yesterday, but I heard people say it wasn't looking so good. But
Let
on
me
my
take.
screen, it looked pretty crispy. I didn't see what the resolution was,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's pretty blurry in the one that I'm looking at that I downloaded yesterday. So yeah, let's see. Pam, we haven't had a pup date for a while. Just say, hey, you just saw the pup date.
yep. You saw the wee guy. Yeah. Who is currently? I can hear him banging around something in my house. He broke his toe like 2 weeks ago, so I've been
Oh no.
building his exercise back up again. So for anyone who wants to imagine what having a tornado living in your house is like, it's a 11-month-old border collie puppy on restricted exercise. That's fun.
Oh. I can't hear mine stomping around because she only weighs like 4 pounds. So
Tiny paws, yeah.
let's see. Well, guys, we have 30 whole minutes left of this stream. We've showed you the new eRank video tool. We've showed you Etsy's new color feature for your storefront. We're out of things to show you unless you give us something that you want to see. So feel free to get some questions in. They don't need to be about eRank specifically. They could be about Etsy, SEO in general, branding. I'm pretty decent with Instagram. I actually have been building a Shopify for the last 3 months, and I launched that a few days ago. So I'm slowly but surely learning some Shopify stuff. Let's see. Full Tasmanian devil mode.
Yep, you're not wrong. Someone was asking how many images we can upload. Up to 15 images. Yeah. I'm so dumb. Um, I work for eRank. I know about these things called tooltips, but I was trying to break it by uploading as many images as I could, and then I thought maybe I should check the tooltip. Oh yeah, upload up to 15 images. So it's amazing. eRank actually tells us without me having to go in and break the tool to find out.
See how to maintain product image size, because if we add height resolution image according to the platform, then the image display is too much slow in the sense of SEO. Okay, so a couple things. Etsy resizes our photos. If they're too small, Etsy blows them up and makes them big. If they're too big, Etsy compresses them and makes them small. So what you're describing is slow load times, which is something that you would experience for your own website. Etsy knows that everybody's going to be uploading photos at all different sizes, and Etsy doesn't want their site as a whole to be running super duper slow. So Etsy makes sure that your photos are at the right size. This is what you're describing makes sense for a website, but for Etsy, it's not something you really need to worry about. The main thing that you need to just make sure is that your photos look clear. That's it. If your photos don't look clear, you need to increase your resolution size. I have experimented with massive resolution sizes on Etsy, and I do think that there's a cutoff limit to how large an upload can be. I think that they'll actually tell you that you need to
Yeah.
upload a smaller file size, but I have uploaded very, very large file sizes just to see what would happen in terms of compression. And even with large photos, they still turn out great when it comes to a listing when Etsy compresses them down. With small photos getting blown up large, that's the only time that I've noticed there being any issue with the photos not looking clear. So you really, if you upload a photo that's way too big, Etsy's just going to tell you it's way too big. So there's no harm in going as big as you can before Etsy tells you it's too big, because I think that Etsy, when they compress them, they still stay pretty crispy.
Yeah, and the other way around. I've got some images I took the background off in PhotoFuse like about 8 years ago, and they're way too small. Etsy gives me warnings about them being too small, but they still look good. on on my PC screen. So
Same. I've got some like that as well that look just fine. So
yeah.
let's see. Susan said, how to use the beta keyword tool. Beta keyword tool, you use it the exact same way you use the regular keyword tool. There's a couple features in the beta keyword tool that are different, but if you're following any of our standard keyword tool tutorials, it's the exact same tool. It's just we've given it a facelift.
Yeah.
I will admit I prefer how the old keyword tool looks a little bit more, and I've been very vocal about that to Anthony. But we gotta rebrand. We gotta make everything look pretty. So
Yeah. I'm not good with change, and there's been a lot of things that have annoyed me as well. But there are some features in this beta version that I think are better. Firstly, Starla might have just spoke about this badge here, um, this high conversion badge. So you want to check her video from Tuesday, was it?
yeah.
Yep. Um, but yeah, so now we're seeing this, and this is we've seen a lot of shoppers adding to cart and purchasing after searching for this keyword in the last 30 days. And this is not data coming from Etsy. This is from our own data providers to get like actual real add to cart and purchase data. So this is a cool little one. Another feature, so everything here is pretty much the same as in the regular one. You've got the search trend graph, you get the searches, clicks, competition. It just looks slightly different. And the same with the related keywords. I'm in my free account, of course I am. So we can't do the things that I wanted to do. But if I was in any of my upgraded accounts, what I really like that you can do is in any of these columns, you can filter them by certain metrics. So there'll be a little kind of funnel beside that. You click on that and you can say, I want to see average searches that are higher than 10,000 monthly searches. I'd like to see average competition that's lower than 50,000 competition. So you can really narrow down and see the keywords that work for you the best. So I really love that addition. But of course, I forgot I was in my free account. um, but but yeah, the basis of it is all the data is the same. We're just hopefully adding things to make it better. But all of these, we're migrating, through to this new style, and a lot of this is in beta. So we need your feedback, and we have been listening. We've heard like there was a lot of complaints about a certain tool that I think we kind of agreed with. To be honest, there were some things, and that is definitely being worked on. So yeah, we're hearing it, and we want to hear everything before it's not beta anymore. So
Susan, that I now understand what you're saying. She said, why do I see a list of all my keywords for each keyword list I've saved? So what you're seeing, you're not seeing keyword lists. You're seeing all of the things that you've searched for in the past. You're seeing your past searches. That way, if you want to return to a search, and some of them are keywords that you might have saved to your keyword list, but we save a bunch of your past queries so that you don't have to retype them in. You can either click one or type in your new keyword right in the search bar. So that
yeah,
is
it
one of the
is.
newer features.
Yeah, this is just when you're going to the tool, when you've just clicked on keyword research, keyword tool, it's just basically so you're not just opening up a blank page, because quite often we've seen people go back, they're searching for the keywords they did. I mean, so you can just catch the last key. When did I search for smutty? But you can see the keyword you searched for, and then these are keywords from your keyword lists. Because again, whoa, that's a big keyword list I've got. Because again, you might want to be checking out how any of these are doing. So it's just giving you ideas. You want to search for keywords like you normally did, but sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I'm looking at this kind of thing. I've been working on the trend report with Jan, so you can see some of the top trending keywords there. But yeah, so they're just there as a thing, like maybe you'd like to go and have a search at this keyword, but otherwise you just search in the top. Just the exact same way. You just search for the keywords you're looking to search for. That was just an added feature. Just basically, you were opening up a tool. It was an absolutely blank page with no idea of what to do. And quite often people are just searching for the keywords they'd searched for before. So let's make it easier for them.
Um, let's see. Dixie Doxy. um, are there trainings? I'm shooting ahead. I'll go back up to ones we missed. But are there trainings available that teach how to use eRank, where to start? I search YouTube but can't find beginner videos that tell here's step one. Here's how to use this tool for beginners. There's tons of those on this channel. There are some on Pam's channel, and I have actually been building out. I'll put it in the chat. I've been building out a playlist of exactly what you are requesting. Some of the videos were recorded before eRank rebranded to the new green, so it's still in dark blue, but the steps haven't changed. So a lot of them are based on, in this playlist, like what you want to accomplish. There's not a whole lot of videos. I wouldn't just sit and watch the full playlist. I would scroll through and like find what specifically it is that you're wanting to do. But we hear that question so much, I finally just decided, you know what, I'm just going to start building playlists of them all.
Yeah. But it is tricky. I mean, Starla's given herself a massive job there because everybody wants to do something different. So, one thing, absolutely look at Starla's things. Also, if you join our Facebook group, which should be linked down here, there's a guide in the Facebook group which Jessica's been working on. We have like a presentation thing that links you to the videos for certain things that you're interested in. We should be adding Jessica, if you're here, we should be adding Starla's lists to that as well.
Well, I'm also about to start building a little course, a little something
Yeah,
that should
mm,
appear right when users like are onboarding. So that will be very helpful.
very excited to see this. You started teasing that last week, so
I know, I
yes.
know. I started teasing it last week, and then I haven't had a chance to actually work on it. But it's coming, I promise. Just keep bugging me about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I noticed eRank has not graded about a dozen of my new ads in the last 2 weeks. Sounds like you need to click your refresh data button. Grades should be all of your active listings. If you're talking about your listing audits,
Yep.
this should be right away.
Yep. That's if you're seeing a problem after you've hit the refresh button, hit the little E on the bottom right hand side. But yeah, our grades should be automatic.
Yeah. Let's see. What's direct and other traffic in Etsy? It shows about 50% of my traffic. I don't have a big social media presence, so I'm pretty sure people are not searching for my store specifically. I mean, direct and other, let's see, visits from people who typed your shop URL into their browser, bookmark your page, clicked a link in an email, instant message, blog, news article, or any other website that sent traffic to your shop. Could that be others? I know that social media, Pinterest is included in there, but I'm wondering if that's very odd. 50% of your traffic in
That's
your,
high. That certainly seems high, doesn't it?
yeah, I thought maybe others pinning, but that should be in social media, even if they're pins from others, because Etsy should be able to tell. That's very odd.
It seems YouTube's in it as well. Yeah, so it's some social media, some websites, some blogs. Um, what if you know what you're doing? That's probably worth digging into your Google Analytics to see if you can see some more details there. But Google Analytics is not very user friendly.
Let's see. Um, the tags report is amazing, but it would be so useful if there was a way to find out which listing the bad tag is connected to.
Oh yeah, I think we had someone just ask for something like that. If you can let our team know in the tag report, just ask them, like, if we can, when you see the tag, click on it and it shows you the listings or something. I think that's a good idea, and I don't know why we haven't had it before. I'm sure I heard somebody ask about it, but yeah, but definitely, if there's anything you think would be handy that's annoying you, let us know, because it really, other people will be thinking it. Yeah, I
Right.
absolutely agree. If you're seeing it, yeah, it would be nice to be able to see which listings that tag's been used for. That's very good, and please ask our team that.
Let's see. All right, these are kind of connected. So I've noticed that buyer expects delivery date when you hover over an order is missing on some orders. Very strange. Reported it to Etsy customer service. After you purchase a label, is there a way to see when the buyer expects the delivery? I don't know if it varies from what customers uh, receive via email and maybe through their app, but I know you used to be able to see the when you clicked on the tracking, there used to be an estimated delivery tied to the tracking. And I would assume that that's how Etsy, if you're purchasing your labels from Etsy, I'm assuming that they're just using the tracking number to see. But offhand, I'm not sure. I think that that would be the only way to see it, right?
Yeah, I can't see it. No, I can't see it. I mean, you could estimate it because you've got the ordered by date. I'm just checking out something else, but I can't. I can't currently see it. Um, yeah, no, I thought we might have it in our delivery status report, but we don't either. Um, yeah, we tried to add that in the eRank's delivery status report, but I think Etsy isn't giving us that data either.
Can we move
Um,
keywords from one list to another? Not
yeah,
yet, but
we
it's been
can.
oh, we can. Oh,
Yeah,
did that finally happen? Last I checked, we couldn't.
it's in the betas,
Oh, it's in
but
the. That's why, because I always use
even
the regular one.
so, see, I'm just in the keyword tool, and this is, but anywhere where you see these triple dots beside a keyword, you can
I should have
stick.
known that.
Here's all your keywords, and you can all your keyword lists, and I can add it to several different lists here.
That's perfect. See, that's exactly why I always, and well, I don't know, the new conversion badge, it has me using the new keyword tool a lot more. It's like I'll deal with the interface I don't like if I can have my conversion badge. I just don't like how it looks aesthetically. I like the other graphs more, but I'll get over it eventually. Eventually I'll, just like I was so mad when we changed from the pretty blue to the green, and now I'm used to it. So
Yeah. No, I know it's been tough on a lot of us. I don't like when stuff have moved about and things.
let's see. This is a good question. If the keyword boho has 5,000 plus average searches and cottagecore has 6,000 plus average searches, but boho cottagecore has less than 20 average searches, I'm still struggling to understand how this is, because that people on average are typing in the word boho by itself and they're searching for cottagecore by itself, but they're not searching for the combination boho cottagecore. However, it is still absolutely okay for you to use the term boho cottagecore in your title and tags, because you will still be broad matching for, or I'm sorry, exact matching for boho on its own, falling into that 5,000 plus average search, uh, set of yeah, and the cottage core 6,000 plus. And even if your tag was boho cottage core, Etsy's still reading that term together as boho cottage core, but they're also reading it separately, boho and cottage core, even if they're grouped into a single tag. So basically you're just looking at a keyword that people aren't searching for those two words together, but they are searching for them on their own.
Yeah, that's it. And our keyword tool, when you search for something, when you search for cottagecore, we are telling you the number of people that are typing cottagecore into that search bar. So when you search for Boho cottagecore, we're telling you the people that have typed the words Boho cottagecore into the search bar. So that is less. Not many people are combining the two together. But as Starla says, this is one of the things you're looking at, the high level thing. If you make stuff that is boho cottagecore and you think it's very good for that niche, then you are still going to be hitting people who are into cottagecore. You're like a niche within cottagecore and you're a niche within boho. So if somebody searches for cottagecore and you have a really good listing, you might show up for it. So that's, you want to, when you're keyword researching, don't put in the real niche keyword to start with. Start with the bigger things. What's the bigger overreaching thing? Cottagecore, or is it a lamp, or is it, and then drill down the way rather than trying to work up the way from boho cottagecore.
Yeah, because Etsy's going to read all the words in your title in every possible combination, even if they're not next to each other, and all the words in your tags, not just the tags themselves, but the individual words within a tag in every single possible combination. So, my tags, I'll often have Christmas gifts for as a tag, and then mom, grandma, dad as a tag, for example, because I know that Etsy's going to broad match those. So, let's see, we've got a couple more minutes. I'm going to do a speed round. We need our little speed round
I
banner
know
back.
I'll have to figure out if I can make that on here again.
Let's see, talking about Instagram, do you suggest keeping your Instagram strictly business, meaning don't add personal photos along with business photos? So a couple things about this. Instagram it relies on an algorithm. And in fact, the algorithm just got very, very good this month. The algorithm is now going to be looking at keywords that we utilize in our captions in order to rank our individual posts in search, not just Instagram search, but actual search engines like Google, which is great for business. So keeping it strictly business, that definitely keep your Instagram business focused. Your Instagram needs to be a business, a business focused place. But as with everything, it is totally okay to sprinkle in maybe, 5% you, so that you're helping to form those connections with your ideal target audience, but be intentional about the personal photos that you post on your business account. So for example, if you are selling products for dogs, maybe every once in a while you post a photo of you and your dog out on a walk, and in the caption you share like your top 3 tips for dog walking. Keep it intentional. Don't just post a picture of your dinner unless you sell like seasonings or something and you're using them. Make sure that what you post is showing a little bit of your personality, but again, be intentional about the keywords that you're utilizing in your captions and try to be consistent.
Yeah, you want to think with any of these things, the people you're trying to attract, your audience, would they be interested in this, and would it be relevant for them? If you have a business about dog hats or something, do they really care if you've painted your wall and you had broccoli
Right.
for dinner? It's not relevant to them. But think, like Starla says, absolutely, if you're selling things about dog hats, would your audience be interested in seeing you out on a walk in a beautiful place with your dog? Absolutely.
Yeah. It helps to build trust and connection. Let's see. Thoughts said I did reclick, refresh, tried other browsers. Listings on those new listings. Oh, okay. Are not showing grades. Drop a message to our support gals in the bottom right hand corner, and say that explain exactly that to them. Let them know you came from Q&A. Pam and Starla told you to, and because that sounds like you might have a bug going on.
Yeah, my grades are looking fine. I'm not aware of us having changed anything, but that doesn't mean we haven't. But I can see my grades, so it sounds definitely definitely like you found a bug.
Let's
Let
see.
the team know.
Once you get your listings right, there's no getting your listings right. They're never right. It's a constant experiment. You're constantly monitoring them. How long does it take for Etsy to rank your Etsy shop to appear on the first 3 pages when a customer searches for a product? That sounds like you watch some YouTube videos where someone promised you that if you do your SEO right, you'll be on the first 3 pages. And unfortunately, that's not how Etsy search works. There's no guarantee. You could have the greatest keywords in the world. You could go to the #1 competitor in your industry and take all their tags and titles and put those keywords in your listings and still not rank on the first 3 pages. They could be ranking on page 1 and you could steal their tags and titles exactly and you might still not rank. There are a lot of other factors that contribute to your overall rank on Etsy. And when you first list a product, Etsy even boosts that listing in search for a little while in order to gauge how customers interact with that listing. Every positive signal that gets sent back to Etsy, the way that customers find your items in search, if they, find an item by making a search, clicking on your item, favoriting it, purchasing it, leaving a good review, all of these positive signals help Etsy to understand what your item is and who they should show it to. So there's so much misinformation about this. I actually created a webinar a while ago that goes over all of the factors that help to rank a product in search. And honestly, I think that rather than explain it all here in the last 3 minutes, it would be easier for me to just send you this. The first video in this free course will talk about those factors and basically, how to check your search ranking. Because again, if you're looking at, this is another one of those, I don't know where you are in your journey, but if you're looking for your own listings on Etsy, typing those keywords into the Etsy search bar, if you're someone who's doing that, you're not even getting an accurate representation of where you're ranking. So
Yeah, I mean, basically, Etsy finds your listing, and you'll see it like an eRank rank checker within 20 minutes. Little tests I've done on the Etsy personalization algorithm. It can take maybe at max about a day for Etsy to be able to really find your listing. So the simple answer there is within 24 hours, if you're going to rank, you'll be ranking. That's the peak time when you're getting that boost in search. But the, right, Starla loves her analogies. I just thought of one when you were talking there. For once you get your listings right, and it just reminds me when I was a kid, I was given one Christmas like a manicure set for doing your nails, and I sat and I did like a few of my nails, and then I sat there and says, I'll come back and I'll do the rest, I'll finish it tomorrow. And my mum just killed herself laughing, because it's like you never finish your nails because they're going to keep changing. And that's kind of like with your shop, you never get your listings right. It's always changing, you're always going to be finding new things to do. So yeah, you never get your listings right, but once you've created a listing, you'll see how it's doing. Use the rank checker, and you'll see within about 30 minutes, you'll see what Etsy thinks of your SEO. That's the best advice, really.
we're down to the last minute. Emily, I don't think that you can move keywords from lists when you're in a list, right? That might be what.
I will have a look. We were supposed to be doing something. I'll pull that up if you want to go on to another question while I try and do that, possibly.
Yeah. Mark had said, do traffic stats take a while to show? I just started with eRank yesterday. Did you connect up your Google Analytics? Traffic stats are specifically if you've connected your Google Analytics account to, which that it will take us some time because you have to start accumulating data for us to be able to present anything. But obviously, we won't be able to present anything at all if you haven't connected up Google Analytics. So, assuming that you've done that, so that we can display those traffic stats. You just have to have some actual data for us to be able to display. We can only start presenting it from the date that you connect. So if you just started yesterday, you might want to double check it in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I checked the keyword lists because the actual keyword lists tool is not in the beta yet. In our newest version, you can't, but you will be able to when we move to the next version. I'm pretty sure. So keep an eye out for the beta.
Let's see. If a tag shows as -20 and the average clicks and average click-through rate are both showing as unknown, is it still worth persisting with that tag? I think it completely depends on the tag. Sometimes it's just a term that is so niche that it falls outside of our data sets, but people are still searching for it. I have that happen a lot in my shop because I officially license with authors, and specific book characters will be very popular for people who read, these books. They want products based on this specific character, but it's not going to be as popular as somebody searching for book merch, for example. So I will get some unknown results. I think that if you feel very confident that you've got a good keyword, then persist with it for a while and let the results show for themselves, but don't go and optimize your whole shop for that keyword if you're unsure of it. Test it for a while, and if you don't see the results, then that might be a good indicator that no, really, people aren't actually searching for that term. Sometimes the data is the thing that helps
Yeah.
us to make those decisions.
And also, if it's a tag, if I can't remember if we're still talking about the tag report there, like we talked about what boho cottage core. Let's imagine you made boho cottagecore wool art. So to utilize the most space in your tags, you knew that maybe boho art was doing well and cottagecore art was doing well, so you had a tag of boho cottagecore art. I bet no one's searching for that specifically, but it could be mixing and matching, and actually you might be getting traffic to your shop for boho art and cottagecore art. So don't touch, like, those tags could be helping your shop, even though, because where we're showing the clicks and click through rate and everything for a tag, we're showing it as if it's a keyword, as if that's what people are searching for. You have to use your common sense and say, why did I make that tag? Is it to be a combination of words? So what is the keywords that we're getting found for, rather than what is the tags that we're using to tell Etsy what we're relevant for? So yeah, don't throw tags out. They might, if they're helping you, if those words are used in keywords you're getting found for, it's very much worth persisting with.
Absolutely. Cutting room design. Let's see. When you say keywords and captions on Instagram, is that the hashtags or just the text content for the post? Just the caption, like the written text content. In fact, hashtags, Instagram CEO Adam Masari actually recently announced that hashtags have absolutely no algorithmic impact anymore. They don't use them for whatever they do for their query matching, I'm assuming, but no, they primarily use your caption, your written caption itself. Now, you should probably still add a couple keywords. They recommend like 3 to 5. I usually do 3 or 4 no matter what, but they aren't benefiting the algorithm at all. And then I'm going to grab one last question just because it's so silly. Can we use SEMrush tool for keyword research for Etsy? You can do whatever you want, but you're at an eRank stream, so I don't know why you would. SEMrush is good. Are they primarily Google? Are they?
Yes, I think so. They're a tool for building your website, well, for your website SEO and stuff.
Yeah, that's
It's a
major search engine.
fantastic tool, but I don't think they have Etsy keyword data.
Yeah,
And I can, I bet you I can count the number of people in the stream and say how many of you are likely getting much traffic directly from Google keyword optimization, and it's very little.
not me. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
can you take your kid to a veterinarian, to a dog doctor? I mean, you can, but it's probably best to take your kid to a kid doctor and your dog to a dog doctor. It's it's probably best to do your website SEO with something like SEMrush. And it's probably a good idea to do your Etsy SEO with an Etsy SEO tool.
Yeah. Which is handy because you're in the stream for so if you haven't already, sign up for a free account with eRank.com. Yay.
Oh, hello. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out. We had a lot of questions towards the end. We didn't get to all of you, but we will definitely, let's see. Oh, we have a meeting on Thursday. So we'll definitely be here on Thursday.
Yep.
I just looked at the schedule. I was making sure. I always check to make sure I'm going to be here. Pam, what would you think about next week, since we get a lot of questions about Instagram? What if we did an Instagram stream? What do you guys? I'm pretty.
Sounds good to me. I can sit back and do nothing because my Instagram's so bad.
I have so many. I started a new Instagram account for my new business, my new business, and Instagram told me I was logged into too many Instagram accounts because I was already logged into 8 Instagram accounts, and it told me that I had to sign out of one of my accounts before I could start a new account. So yeah,
So now we know 8's the limit then. So we learned something.
Apparently 8's the limit. You can't do any more than that. So
Yeah.
we'll do. Yeah, please plan something for Pinterest. I'm not good at Pinterest. We have Michelle on our team who's currently like working on Pinterest stuff, and I have Pinterest. I have lots of Pinterest accounts. I cannot move the needle on Pinterest the way that I can on things like Instagram.
I used to get most of my social traffic used to come from Pinterest. Unfortunately, it wasn't from my own pins, it was from other people. But a few years ago, Pinterest changed things, and yeah, I can't figure it out. Do you think Michelle would come on a stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should maybe ask her if she'd give us a rundown of things to do with Pinterest, because I'd love to learn.
We'll have lots of accents because Michelle has a Southern accent. She's in Tennessee, so we get a little bit of. I actually, a lot of people tell me that my Ohio accent, that every once in a while I get a little Southern. I don't hear it at all, but apparently I've got some words that I say that sound Southern.
I don't know a Southern accent till I hear one, and I'm like, oh yeah. So
a Southern accent, just a Southern accent. That's how Michelle talks.
Oh no, she's got such a fun accent. Yes,
she is fun.
So, yeah, we'll have to ask her, but we'll do Instagram next week, and then we'll badger Michelle into coming on.
Yeah, that'll give her a couple weeks to prepare. We'll give her some time, but Instagram, we can do that. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. We appreciate you. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
It was